Hi guys, it's Kim, and I want to talk to you today about astral projection. I know you've been waiting for this one. You guys asked me a lot about astral projection. How do you do it? How do you do it? Well, I have to say that I haven't had an abundance of experience with astral projection, but I do want to share some things that have worked for me and some tips. Okay, and what is astral projection? First of all, there's different theories on this, and there's so many different methods and ways that you can actually do this. So let's just go over just some basic information before I talk about crystals. So there's a lot of theories on what astral projection is. Some say that your astral body actually leaves the physical body and goes out there and travels the astral plane, which actually feels right to me. Others say that it's more like all happening just on a different consciousness, that you're not actually ever leaving your body. You're just having like a different kind of consciousness. I don't know. I don't really know what it is. Whatever it is, it's really cool. Okay, so and it's just a really fun thing, and there's some things to think about though, and be prepared if you're going to do this consciously. Now, some people say that you actually are astrally traveling when you are dreaming. And I think, and I don't know if this is always the case, but I'm pretty certain that sometimes this is the case. At least for me, I'm quite certain that I've astrally projected while sleeping. And the reason I say that is, one, because the dreams are so different. They're very vivid. You become lucid. And I will wake up vibrating. I know that sounds kind of dirty, but it's true. I will wake up vibrating from head to toe, or chakras spinning. Like there's just a surge of energy. And there's been also many times when I've actually felt myself drop back in, like falling, drop back into my body, and then bam, I wake up. So I'm quite certain that sometimes when you're dreaming, at least sometimes, you are actually astral projecting, having an out-of-body experience. I can't say that that's the case for every dream that you have. I don't know, but I'm sure for myself that sometimes this is the case, because some dreams just stand out so much more than the rest, and especially when I wake up vibrating and that sensation of falling and all that kind of stuff. All right, so that's just a little background. Now, how to actually astral project, there are so many videos and so many websites, and I have to tell you, when I first started looking into this, I did a lot of research, and I tried a lot of the stuff that was in the videos and books and things like that, and I really wasn't successful. And I have to tell you, to be honest with you, the one thing that made me successful in being able to astral project is the ability to just chill out and stop trying. When I stopped trying and I would just take a little nap, I started, floating right out of my body. When I lay there and I'm trying to meditate, I'm trying to concentrate, I'm concentrating, okay, no more thoughts. And you sit there, and the more you do that, the more you have thoughts, and the more you're worried about the little itch on your nose and whatever. And I'm not going to scratch it. I'm not going to scratch it, and you're going to scratch it. The more you do that, the much harder it is, because you're trying so hard. I really think you have to stop trying. And that's what happened for me. When I stopped trying, I started doing it. I've had, several, probably about a dozen experiences with astral projection, and none of them were me entering a meditative state with the intention, oh, I'm going to astral project. They were all non-planned astral projections. So, and so you might say, okay, well, you're lucid dreaming. But what would happen is I would enter a lucid dream state, and I would realize my whole body is vibrating. And that would wake me up. It would wake up my mind, but not my body. And then I would actually feel my body lifting up and out. And so I knew I was astral projecting, and I was completely conscious of what was going on. But there have been times when I would meditate with the intention of actually astral projecting, And this is when I first started doing it. And I would actually be able to do it into the sense, to the point where I would be meditating and I would get to that state and I would start to get the vibrations and I would start hearing things like my name. And this is when it got really creepy. I would start hearing my name, or banging on behind my head. One time I was kissed on the cheek. I was getting to that point when I knew that I was entering different realms and all that kind of, I was about to, you know, and that would always freak me the heck out. Like, I would realize, I mean, I get kissed on the cheek, oh my God, I gotta stop, you know. It would wake me right up. So as soon as I became conscious of this, I would wake up and be startled. And so this was always my problem with meditation and being able to do it, because I would become conscious and it would scare the crap out of me. And also, something that I'm able to do pretty easily, actually, and I could still do it to this day pretty easily, even when I lay down to go to bed, I can actually get my hands and my feet out of my body pretty easily. It's the rest of me that I have trouble with. It's the center part, you know, that I have trouble with. I have that heavy feeling, but yes, my hands will be floating out. I could very easily get my hands out of my body. And it's a really cool feeling, because you know, it's like expansion. You can feel your hands become really, 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 really big, you know, or you feel like you're reaching across the room, yet you know your arm is still like there, you know. So that's really cool. So the key to all of this, though, is to experiment for yourself and to relax. And you can try different things. You can try different music. You can try the beats. I will tell you that the creepiest experiences that I had was when I was using the different beats, okay? Because they put you in this really weird place. And they work. I mean, if you're looking to experience other levels of consciousness and whatever, they work. But beware, they're kind of creepy. So for me, it was creepy. I mean, I had weird experiences that I didn't quite like. So now I don't do that. Now I just kind of use sound of rain and relaxing music and whatever. And I had another video I made on meditation, and I just go to calm.com and nice relaxing music. So you have the different techniques. Look it up on YouTube, different techniques. So there's one guy that tells you to stare at a candle flame. I've tried that. Then there's you know, the idea of once you get very relaxed and you feel like maybe some vibrations or whatever, you know, you start to like pretend to climb a ladder, you know, using your mind. I've tried that and I've gotten nowhere. Actually, I was more successful, and I just kind of made this one up myself because I like water and I like swimming. So I would swim. So I would just try to swim in my mind and swim as far away as I could. And that would help me get my arms out. That's why I think I'm you know, very able to get my arms right out, because I would just swim right out, you know. Or I've rolled over. I've done that rollover technique. I've tried to throw myself off the couch. You know, that's worked. Or you sit up. I've done that. One time I just sat right up and I was like, oh, I'm out of my body, and then up, and I always go right to the sky and I start flying around. One thing that works for me as well, and I've shared this in my group, is to lay with your head toward the magnetic north. And I don't know, like, again, it's not going to be for everybody, but for me, because my bed faces that way too, my head is to the magnetic north, as well as this couch that I often will lay on. And every experience I've had has been with my head toward the magnetic north. I don't know why. I'm sure there's some reason, but that seems to work for me. And the other thing that works really well for me, and I've read this, so I didn't make this one up, I read this online, was that to try, like, during a morning nap or an afternoon nap. And I find that to be really, really successful. So if I try at like 12 or 1 o'clock, take a 20-minute nap or a half-hour nap, because you don't go into a deep, deep, deep sleep, you know. And I've had 90% of my experiences have been while laying on my couch with my head toward the magnetic north, taking an afternoon nap. And I wake up, I'm vibrating, I'm like, oh shoot, I'm vibrating, oh, time to get out of my body, and then I can get out. Right? So you kind of start to feel and kind of know. And I think Once you get past being able to calm your mind, which is the hardest part, calm your mind, relax. You know, one thing you can do to help you relax is to go through your whole body and tighten up all your muscles and then release, you know, even all the way down to your toes, all the way up to your head. Tighten all your muscles and release. I focus on my breathing. That's one thing that I like to do, or my heart. You know, and when I'm really struggling and I have all kinds of thoughts going on, I count to 10 over and over and over again till I bore myself to sleep or to another state, because I'm like, shut up, count, you know. So those are some of the things that I do that really help. Some sensations that you might have a tingling sensation through your body, or electrical pulses, or like weird feeling on your head, like bugs crawling on your head, heat sensations. I get really loud cracking sound, like it startles me. That's why I wake up. That's why, like, it works for me when I take a nap, because I get these really loud cracking sounds that wake me up, and I'm like, what the hell was that, you know? And I know I'm still, my body's like just dead weight, you know. And I get the loud cracking sounds. It's like a frequency change. It's like somebody changing the station. And I can sometimes, and like you see that, like, I have to find something like this on YouTube, see if I can find it. But it's like, you know, you see it like moving in and out, you know, changing frequency. That's exactly how it is for me. I can feel my whole self moving, not my physical body, but I can feel my astral body moving, and it's like changing frequency or something. It's really wild. And that's when I know that I'm in the place where I can astral project. And now I get to that point pretty easily, but I don't always get out of my body very easily, because like I said, it does startle me a lot of times. So even as many times as it happens, it still startles me sometimes. So I have that electrical pulses, the buzzing. You might have buzzing or prickling feeling, or like I said, the change in frequency, or a heavy feeling. Sometimes you get this really heavy feeling, but you're mentally aware and you can't really move your body, or you think you're moving your body, but you're not. You're actually moving your astral arms or your legs. It's a really wild feeling. Or you might feel yourself floating or falling, sinking, okay? Or you might feel yourself expanding. So those are some of the sensations you might have prior to astral projecting. So look out for those and prepare yourself. I'm going to stay calm. I'm not going to get startled. I know it's really, really problematic on my end, but I keep trying. So, but I had many, many, you know, experiences, like I said, about a dozen, and they're all really cool. I did have an experience once, and I talked about this in another video, when I woke up with that cracking, buzzing, changing frequency. I'm like, oh, I can astral project. I was so excited. It's like, oh, I can astral project. And something was trying to pull me out of my body. And I was like, hell no, I'm going to stay right here. Kim's going to stay right here. And it took me a while to wake myself up. And in that case, I was actually physically trying to throw myself off the couch because I did not want to be pulled out of my body. I wanted to leave on my own. So with that being said, there are some crystals that you should use, or could use, not that you should use. There are some things to consider. You do want to have some kind of grounding and protection in place when you do this. You want to be in a good mood also. You don't want to be in a really negative state. You want to have higher vibrations when you're doing this, because, you know, when I had that happen, I probably wasn't in the best state of mind, and I had, you know, darkness or something, and it tried to pull me out. Then again, it could have been something positive trying to pull me out, trying to help me. I don't know, but it scared me, so I didn't want to do it. Because I want to do it myself, I'm stubborn. But let's take this back a step. So crystals to help you astral project. This is the one that I use that helps me every single time. And a lot of people that I talk to, a lot of people I talk to say that some form of amethyst is a really good one to help you with astral projection. Now, this is Auralite 23. It's a really revved up version of amethyst, and it comes from Canada. And I have this baby, and I've had at least half of my out-of-body experiences have been with this baby. And I hold it with the point down in my hand. And I usually am laying on the couch like this, taking a nap, and head facing north, and that combination alone, I don't know, it works really well for me. So you can try the Auralite, or you could try regular amethyst. Okay, you can try chevron amethyst as well. Something about the amethyst, a lot of people have astral projection experiences using amethyst. You can also use a calcite, or really any high vibrational type of crystals, moldavite. You can try Herkimer diamonds. You can use clear quartz. There's so many. I'm not even going to go into all of them, but you can use lapis lazuli, tanzanite's another good one, labradorite. I've never, have I had, I think one time I did. Yeah, one time I did have an out-of-body experience with my labradorite. The Hercs, I said, phenixite's a good one, selenite. Clear quartz point facing down is another way you can actually, if you're laying down, you can have your clear quartz point facing down so that you're getting energy coming in this way. All right, so you can try that, and I have a video on how to use clear quartz points, but this is another technique that you can utilize to help increase your chances of having an out-of-body experience. You can also place different crystals on your forehead. Things like lapis lazuli, amethyst. You can use lepidolite. You can do clear quartz, or you can put things on around your crown chakra, anything along those lines. Okay, anything that you would use for your third eye or crown, you can use to help you with astral projection. And one thing that's really important to note, though, is to stay grounded, because you do want to stay grounded. Okay, you can put a grounding crystal at your ankles. I have never had an experience with them at my ankles. I'm not saying you can't. I personally, because I'm always laying down like kind of like this, so I don't have a place down at my ankles really to put a grounding crystal. So I will usually have a grounding crystal in another hand. So I have one hand, I'll have my Auralite 23 in one hand and a grounding crystal in the other. Or you can place them at your feet or at your hips if you wanted to do that. But you should have some kind of grounding crystal, one that is protective as well. And one that's just great all around for that is your black tourmaline. I mean, you just really can't go wrong with a nice chunk of black tourmaline. Even if you're laying down on the couch, you could just put it down at your Earth Star chakra. You want to have something that's going to help you, because you know what? There are some creepy things out there. Like I said, I felt really creeped out with something trying to pull me out of my body. So, you know, you want to be careful with that. But I wasn't even using the Auralite 23. I was using a completely different crystal. Amazonite I was using on that one. I was really surprised to have, you know, almost have an OBE, which I didn't have it because I wouldn't allow it to happen. So you want to have some kind of protection crystal as well as the high vibe one. So there's so many high vibrational crystals. Apophyllite is another one that's really great for that. You can put it on your crown or you can hold it. Your Labradorite, apophyllite, Herkimer's, there's so many. All right, so go ahead and give some of those a try, and I really recommend the amethyst. Just for me, it's been great, and many others too talk about amethyst. That seems to be the one common denominator with a lot of astral projecting strategies that people have tried. So give that a try. All right, so I hope that helps. I hope gave you some ideas on what crystals to use, how to use them, and some things to consider when you're astral projecting. Just be, you know, like I said, be in a really good state of mind, and you know, be happy, and you know, clear your space. That's another good thing to do too, is to clear your space before you try doing it. You can sage, you can use a singing bowl, you can just clap your hands and be happy, play some happy music, get some chimes going, clear your space. You want to have a nice clean palette, you know, before you go ahead and try this. And you know, when you're laying there and you're trying to meditate and stuff, just put out positive, loving thoughts. You know, protect yourself, put your bubble around you. I have a whole thing on how to do spiritual protection. I could put that link below too. So you want to put your bubble around or cover yourself in, you know, white light, whatever it is that you do that helps you stay protected and feeling, you know, protected, because you want to make sure that you're doing that. So I hope that I gave you some good tips for astral projection. Let me know in the comments below how this works for you. And as always, guys, have a blessed day. Bye.